Hey everyone, RC here. I finally got a chance to play with the BenQ 321C monitor and I wanted to share my first impressions with it. The short of it, it's an impressive monitor with a beautiful color and a screen that has made me rethink my setup here at home. Now, the 321C monitor is a 4K monitor. It's 3840 by 2160, and that's twice the resolution of a 1080 monitor, giving you a greater amount of detail in an image. I tend to like to shoot really large pictures that have a great amount of detail, and in that, I've always felt a little disappointed or underwhelmed at not being able to see the full scope of my work unless I print it, like really big. To get to see all of the nuance of your pictures in a monitor is something that should be put higher in our lists. We spend a lot of time going through our work here and making decisions about what to print. Let's make sure that it looks as good as possible when doing so. While I'm at it, let's talk about color reproduction. This monitor is an IPS or image plane switching monitor known for being really good at color fidelity and the ability to replicate color evenly as you move off center, so to speak. Okay, yes. This is a boon for environments where multiple people sit next to one another to look at an image, but really, this is something that I've just come to really like for myself. Here's how. Whenever I'm working on an image, I'm usually working late, making changes, and then I walk away from it. I like being able to walk around my office and look at the results of my work. It makes me feel really good to see it and inspires me to work more on it, and I enjoy making the corrections and changes knowing that I'm looking forward to seeing it here rather than here. I'm making pictures for me first, so anything that makes that experience better is something I'm going to work for. Now, that said, I do want to share those images with others, and I want to make sure that I can get to see all of the color that I can possibly see. This monitor covers 100% of sRGB, which is easy, but 95% of DCI-P3, a color space used for cinema, and 99% of Adobe RGB, displaying over a billion colors with a 10-bit display. In an extremely oversimplified point of view, think of color spaces like boxes of crayons, right? sRGB has a smaller gamut or a range in available color, and moving to a color space with a wider gamut is like working with more crayons. The more crayons you have, the more you can see subtleties in work. An 8-bit monitor doesn't have the capacity of showing more than 60 million amount of colors, which you would think would be more than enough until you open up an image of a really cool sunset, or in my case, the hypercolor impressions that I do in HDR photography. Then you start seeing that these color gradations aren't really well represented, and that's a big letdown. Now, by contrast, 1,000 for one, if you must know, a 10-bit monitor shows over a billion colors, which is really impressive and lets me use all of the crayons I want all of the time. But the piece that really does it for me is the actual screen. BenQ has made this screen a type of a matte surface that just makes pictures look like you're staring at a real picture. I normally don't like bringing a studio monitor in here because the glare would just be so hard to manage with all of the different lights. But here I have a lot of lights on set and you can still see the images incredibly well. This is something that I think is extremely hard to put into a video because it really is something to see in person how good it looks. With this matte screen, they've also added a feature that lets you simulate what an image would look like on paper. Those who love soft proofing are really going to dig this. If you add 2 cables to the monitor set up, you can even dial in 2 different color spaces into the same screen through their hockey puck controller, something that I'm liking more than I expected to. I originally got this monitor as a test to sit side by side with another 32-inch monitor as I did Photoshop and Lightroom work, book writing, and a lot of video editing, which consumes a lot of desktop real estate. Getting a chance to work on it, I'm rethinking my strategy to make this the main screen and then maybe just get a smaller one to use for menus and panels, right? I can't buy 2 of these, but this one is going to look perfect. As I play with it more, I'll be sure to call out some more of the technical components of the monitor and walk you through how to do a bunch of stuff. But the part that I was the most excited about was how it made me feel about approaching my images again. We often want to invest in the next lens and the newest camera and the next bag or the next group of presets, but the place that we judge all of the results of our effort is here. And how we feel about the images here matters and can help you out there. So in that, I thought that the experience was pretty revolutionary and worthy of letting you know. For more information, please make sure that you check out BenQ.com. My name's RC. Thanks for watching.